What up, y'all? Welcome to the Rolling the Bottom NASCAR podcast. I'm your host, Zach Moore. We're back after an exciting week of racing at Martin Truex Jr. Looking forward to breaking it all down for you today, from Xfinity to Cup to on-track, off-track news. I mean, what a weekend of racing. Lots of action, lots of drama. Really exciting. Looking forward to previewing the championship. We got one more race left in this season, so I'm looking forward to getting into it. So Xfinity Series race. Let's run down this quick. Justin Allgaier won the race, beat out Sheldon Creed by a bumper. Justin Allgaier won stage 1. Sam Smith won stage 2. 13 lead changes, 15 cautions. Sam Smith won the most laps, 147 laps. Sam Smith had a dominant car. Won the pole. Good car. I mean, started off strong, but then near the later half, really struggled. As we get into our top 10 finishers here, Justin Allgaier first, Sheldon Creed second, Sammy Smith third, Riley Herbst fourth, Josh Berry fifth, Daniel Hamlin sixth, Parker Retzlaff seventh, Anthony Alfredo eighth, Jeb Burton ninth, Parker Clingman 10th. And then our playoff driver finishers, where they finished. I mean, due to this big old wreck at the end, it was these finishes do not show where they really ran all day. John Nemechek 18th, Cole Custer 19th, Austin Hill 21st, Sam Mayer 25th, Chandler Smith 36th. Chandler Smith has had a terrible round, and really it just shows with this finish. Got in another wreck, got involved with another mess. Was deep in the field and got involved and destroyed his car, and he couldn't continue. I think he ran a couple laps after that, but then they just told him to bring it in and park it. So disappointing for him, just disappointing end to his run with calling, as though he got one more race with calling before he moves on. So just a disappointing way to kind of end it off. We got one more race left, but yeah. And then Sam Mayer, he made a terrible mistake in this race too. On a caution lap, he was on pace. They were caution speed and wasn't paying attention and ran in the back of a car, so that killed him. And then but yeah, luckily he's locked in with the championship 4. Luckily he won Homestead, so he should be thankful for that, and good job for him getting that done. And then we got Austin Hill finishing 21st. We'll break down his situation with Sheldon Creed a little bit later here. But yeah, I mean, he was in position and got wrecked. So yeah, disappointing way. Could have went from probably being able to make it in to he's out. And then Cole Custer finishing 19th. I mean, great run for him until the last lap where he got involved in a wreck and put that thing in reverse and got across the finish line to put himself on enough points above the cut line. I mean, after the wreck, Austin Hill didn't even finish the race. He got wrecked. He was just wrecked there on turn 4 and could never continue. His car was destroyed, and he just wasn't able to finish the race. And Austin Hill and Cole Custer was able to put that thing in reverse, and it was on fire, and he was able to get the thing across the finish line. So congrats to Cole Custer making it in the championship 4. John Nemechek, another guy who advances to the championship 4. I mean, he clinched his spot, I think, near the end of stage 1 with enough playoff points. So great for him. He was playing with house money at the end of that race. I mean, he didn't really have anything to lose. He was just going out there trying to get a win, try to keep someone else from keeping it. Yeah, and then so Parker Kligerman, Jeb Burton, Anthony Alfredo, Parker Retzlaff, Daniel Hammer, Josh Berry, Riley Herbst, all 7 of those guys. Good top 10s, good way to kind of finish out your season, good momentum to go into next year. I mean, Riley Herbst, that's like 3 top 5s in a row, so really, he's coming on strong, really. I mean, good for him. Good way to kind of go into 2023, I mean. No, 2024. Yeah. And then Sammy Smith, told you guys about him, won the most laps, won the pole, but just was not in the position near the end to capitalize on the situation, the wreck. So, he was also in a must-win and couldn't get it done. So, disappointing for him. He'll be one more race with JGR, and he'll be moving over to Junior Motorsports. And then Sheldon Creed finishing second. He got involved with his teammate in the last turn. Got together. I think it's time we might as well break down this wreck between the teammates. I got a video here, and I'm gonna watch it, and we're gonna break it down together, and I'm gonna tell you my thoughts. So they're in turn one here, and they're driving pretty aggressively, and they're side by side. We also had this door slammed Sheldon Creed into turn one, and now they're being really aggressive. Sheldon gives the bumper to Austin, and now they're side by side. And now going into the white flag, Austin Hill's got a lead. And then go down to turn one, and Creed gives Hill the bumper. And right here, this is just hard racing. And then they bang again. And right now, it's just hard, aggressive racing. And then they door slam again, and then Creed gets out in front, and then gets really slow. And then him going slow, Hill runs in the back of him, destroys the front end. He spins out, and it's a big old melee. And then Justin Allgaier creeps in and steals the win by a bumper. I mean, right there, all I saw there was hard racing. I didn't see anything that told me that Sheldon Creed did something wrong. I mean, after that race, we got melee between Andy Peter going over to yell at Sheldon Creed, telling him that he didn't give Hill a chance at the end, which I don't really see. You know, people are saying that, you know, Creed, you know, brake checked Hill, but that doesn't really make any sense to me. I'm not sure why he would do that. I mean, to me, it just looked like when people said that, I rewatched the replay multiple times, and to me, it just looks like Creed just was having a little trouble getting around that turn, and that's just what caused Hill to run in the back of him. But then you got Andy Peter yelling at him, and then you got Richard Childress, his boss. You know, Creed's leaving. He's going off to probably JGR next year, and you got Richard Childress telling people that he's had a lot of drivers on his team, but he's never had anyone as stupid as Sheldon Creed. I mean, that's so uncalled for. I mean, that's so dumb because they're basing this off of hard racing. I mean, Creed did nothing wrong. I mean, it doesn't even matter if he brake checked or braked or whatever. Creed did nothing wrong. It's just, I think, to me, if Hill did this exact same thing, they wouldn't even say a thing about Hill. They would all be for it, right? Because Hill's their guy now. Hill just signed a multi-year deal to move on and race for RCR. So, I feel like there's a little favoritism, a little bias towards Hill, because he's the one staying and Creed's moving on. And to me, they try to milk it like Creed chose to leave, but I think RCR wanted him to leave, and to me it just shows, you could just tell how much, like, the way they treat him. But yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot worse drivers. I've listened to a lot of podcasts since recording this one, that there's the drivers that Richard Childress has had race there's some of those guys have done some wild stuff. I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, I think there's been a lot worse drivers, and there's been a lot of other drivers that did a lot more stupid stuff than what Creed did by racing hard. So yeah, I think Richard Childress is an idiot for what he's saying. Yeah, kind of stupid. So the four guys that are going to be moving on to the championship four are going to be Cole Custer, John Agnew, Sam Mayer, and Justin Allgaier. I mean, it's going to be a great Final Four to about out, and then the elimination guys are going to be Sheldon Creed, Austin Hill, Chandler Smith, and Sammy Smith. Yeah, so it should be a good final. We'll get into that later in the show. So now let's get to our Cup Series stuff. The Xfinity 500. The winner was Ryan Blaney. Stage 1 winner was Denny Hamlin. Stage 2 winner was Ryan Blaney. There was 12 lead changes, 7 cautions. Denny Hamlin led the most laps, 156, and then Ryan Blaney led the second most laps, 145. I mean, these guys are the class of the fields. I mean, they finished 1-2 in Stage 1, and I think they also finished 1-2 in stage. They finished 1-2 in Stage 2, but Blaney was the winner in Stage 2. Denny was the winner in Stage 1. I mean, they were the class of field. Martin Truex won the pole for this race, and he finished third. He was leading the laps. I think he led 147 laps in this race, and then I think that was all he led. And once he got passed by Denny Hamlin, it was definitely very hard to pass lap cars, I would feel like. It looked like that they brought a brand new tire, a tire that weared more, because that's what we want in these tires. The compounds that the Goodyear's been making are not been aggressive enough. We're not getting enough tire wear, so it doesn't differentiate in speed. But I thought, I was watching practice and it looked like it was wearing. The announcers and people were talking about this is a big deal for Goodyear, and people were applauding Goodyear that they seeing this. When we went in the race, it wore, but it didn't wear enough. It took too long for it to wear, and you could still see that with, stage cautions. I mean, not stage cautions, but lap cars. Um, and lap cars were hard to pass. I mean, it took forever for people to make passes against lap cars, even though those leaders were running, half a second faster than those guys. Um, so yeah, it was still difficult to pass. But I felt like Denny had a good car in the beginning of the race, but then Blaney came on strong during stage two, and right from there was some strategy where they got mixed up. They started back. Denny was able to take a lead a little bit there while they were fighting through back in the field, and with strategy. I mean, Aric Almirola, I had a chance to lead here as we go through our top 10 finishers. Ryan Blaney first, Aric Almirola second, Denny Hamlin third, Chase Briscoe fourth, Joey Logano fifth, Kyle Larson sixth, Christopher Bell seventh, Chris Buescher eighth, Austin Cindric ninth, and Todd Gilliland 10th. And then our playoff guys that finished outside the top 10, Martin Truex Jr. 12th, William Byron 13th, and then Tyler Reddick 26th. Also, I did mention Chase Elliott. He was 17th. He wasn't a playoff guy, but owner points. I mean, he still was technically in. He was the only non-playoff guy that was still in because of owner points. 17th. Let's talk Tyler Reddick. I mean, Tyler Reddick spun out. He spun during qualifying. Only had one lap. I think it was like 8th fastest. And that really, he probably would have had a faster lap going to lap 2 of qualifying, but he spun out. And that was probably due to the tire wear a little bit there. I don't know. I think they put on new tires there. But, yeah, he just never had a car capable. The team could never get him comfortable in that car. He could never get himself in a position to get top 10, get stage points. He was really, he was the closest one from being out. He was minus 10. Hamlin and Childress were both minus 17, but just the way how bad they qualified outside the top 10, so they weren't in a position, and also because it's hard to pass, they couldn't get stage points, and they could never get a good setup right for Reddick. So he's out. Good year for them, big year and big improvement. Last year I think he was eliminated in the round of 16, and that was when he was racing for RCR, and so it's a huge improvement for him. It's a good year, good season for him. And then William Byron finishing 13th. He survived one here. He did not have a good car. They didn't get stage points. They qualified bad. But, I was expecting them to do better because they're good here. He's won here before. But no, they just struggled badly. He said, the handling was in that car. He was fighting the car. I think he was saying it's like one of the worst handling cars he's ever had at the track at Martinsville, and it showed. And then, at the end of the race, he was talking about in his interviews how he just wanted to quit because of how physically, it was hot. It was really warm. I think it was like 80-something degrees there. It's like one of the warmest Martinsville fall races in history. It's really warm. It's usually never that warm during this season in Martinsville. So it was definitely a physically demanding race, and he fought through and he survived. With Denny getting stage points, it made it really close and really, really compelling at the end. But he got enough points, and he's in. He's moving on. And then we get into Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex, he finished third in stage 1. But then after stage 1, they got during the run, they had another caution. And during one of those cautions, after a pit stop, he had a speeding penalty on exit, accelerated too fast, got above the limit, and got a penalty. So he had to go into the tail line. The tail line, they call it the longest line. So he was already back. He was deep, and that really sent him back because it's so hard to pass already at short tracks that you're not going to be able to make it up that quick. And then their next pit stop, They had a bad pit stop, slow pit stop. Jack couldn't get up. Jackman was having trouble, and then Austin put him back. So they were bad. They were done for, just on points, and also knowing that Hamlin was getting points and running up front, you were gonna have to deal. You were have to get you were gonna have to beat Hamlin and Blaney, and yeah. So disappointing for Truex. I mean, he's had a terrible playoffs. A gosh awful, like just terrible. I mean, from the being the points leader, the regular season champ. I mean, I think it only has like one. I think he only has like one top 10, and I think that was only his second top 15 too. I mean, just terrible, terrible, terrible. You know, he survived because of all those playoff points, but then when you got to round 8, you can't just survive. You gotta be good. You gotta be great. And yeah, hurt himself. And then Todd Gillen and Austin Cindric, both top 10s. And then we get to Chris Buescher. I mean, Chris Buescher, another. I mean, on strategy, they were really a top 8, but they were not a top 10 car at all. I mean, another struggle in the year. I mean, Brad, his teammate, got top 5 in both stages. I mean, his Brad was good, but Chris Buescher, not so good. So it's just, yeah, Chris Buescher, they this round, they just struggled. They have not found the speed, RFK, I think, they hit their stride near the end of the season, going into the playoffs, but then they kind of slowly were on the decline. On the decline, they lacked speed, and but no, a huge year for RFK when it just comes on overall speed and performance from Brad. Brad's been close to winning, but I think Brad's like 5th or 6th on points, so Brad's already run pretty well. And then for Chris to get 3 wins, I mean, incredible, great year for Chris. RFK. Now we gotta see here. Now I think next year with Ford coming out with a whole new bumper. I saw tomorrow Ford's going to be unveiling their new Ford Mustang, the new 2024 NASCAR Mustang. They got a whole new look, whole new bumper, so that should help their aerodynamic because they're struggling. That's when they're behind a little bit. But yeah, good stuff. Good year for Chris Buescher. And then you got Christopher Bell. Solid day. Nothing. He didn't really need much. Just a good run for him. He's locked in, so nothing take away. Decent, good momentum, top 10, good feeling, feels good. Kyle Larson, good run for him again in the playoffs. Good momentum, good top 10, ran well. Yeah, and then you got Joey Nagano, good run with Joey Nagano. I mean, Joey got involved with Ty Gibbs there. Well, I don't know. There was a lot of speculation. Like, he ran in the back of Ty Gibbs and spun Ty Gibbs out, and that caused a big wreck that took a couple guys out. A lot of people were speculating if Joey was trying to bump because Ty Gibbs was just in front of Denny, and it looked like it was Joey trying to bump Ty Gibbs into Denny and to cause Denny to wreck. So there's a lot of speculation. There's just a little feud going on between those Ty Gibbs and Joey Nagano, but great run for Joey, top 5. Chase Briscoe, another good run. Great run for SHR cars, and yeah, great run to kind of end out the season. Good, on a high note, good momentum. And then you got Aric Almirola, 2nd. I mean, Denny Hamlin finished 3rd. I mean, Denny Hamlin finished in 3rd. Good run. Just not good enough. And then Aric Almirola finishing 2nd on strategy. Helped him. If strategy worked out a little better, there's a little less laps, Aric could have won this race. But there wasn't, and the strategy didn't really work out. It worked out well enough, finishing 2nd, but definitely kills with knowing that you had a chance there to win that race. If the strategy was a little bit, there was just less laps. You just needed less laps. But now Blaney passed him, and Blaney took the W, and Blaney's moving on. And yeah, that's your top 10 running order, and your breakdown there, and that's yeah. So the 4 guys that are moving on are going to be William Byron, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, and Ryan Blaney. I mean, it's going to be a pretty young Final 4. And also we could have a first-time champ with Kyle Larson being the only 2-time champ. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting to see who can pull it off. Yeah, looking forward to that. we'll break down our preview there coming up. And then the 4 guys that were eliminated: Martin Truex, Aric, Chris Buescher, and Denny Hamlin. I mean, Denny Hamlin, man, another year where we all thought it could have been his year. And I mean, seriously, if Denny doesn't wreck out at Homestead and not have that power steering issue, I mean, he could be moving on and going to the championship. I mean, I think he only missed out on 5 points. I mean, and a lot of people are making jokes. Oh, another year of Joey Logano choking. To me, I don't think not Joey. I don't think Denny Hamlin did anything wrong. He just was a mechanical issue that got him. I mean, he could have won. He could have won the first 3 races in the round of 16. I mean, he was dominating Darlington, and then they had a bad pit stop with loose wheel. Came back in and changed that. Kansas, he had a bad restart. Was not on it on a restart, laying back too much. Finishing second, probably had one more lap, probably would have won. And then Bristol, he came out there and dominated Bristol and won that race, right? So yeah, I don't know, man. I love Denny. I love Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin is great for the sport. We need more of Denny Hamlin. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes in the future and see if he can still keep that dominance up, which I think he can. So yeah, that's your breakdown of Martinsville. Now let's get into some silly season stuff. Lots of silly season news. So let me get my paper if I can find my papers. I'm always struggling to find my papers. I did. So let's get into our off-season silly season stuff. So Rick Ware Racing, their no 51 charter is not going to be taken away from. Usually there's a rule where if you are the bottom, if you're the bottom charter 3 years in a row, NASCAR has the right to take your charter away, repossess it. But due to Rick Ware's work with their Rick Ware's alliance with RFK and their use of Roush Yates engines and signing Justin Haley, it shows that they have commitment. So they're not going to take away their charter. And I guess that rule isn't like black and white. So I guess NASCAR kind of has the choice if they want to take away your charter or not. And I think that's right. I mean, NASCAR should not have the right to take away a $40 million charter, because we saw what Live Fast Motorsports charter was worth, and yeah. And then we got Aric Almirola. Aric Almirola announced he's retiring after 2024. This was kind of rumored. Not surprised. Great career, good solid career. I guess he did talk about he would like to do more Xfinity Series races, like a part-time schedule, because he still wants to race, but just not as much as what the Cup Series is, and that's 38 weeks. He wants to still race, just not as much. But he's trying to find. It's just a hard time finding a car, and a competitive car, because I think a lot of teams want full-time guys, not part-time guys. So yeah, congrats to Aric on a good career. He got one more race to finish it out. He has 3 wins. He's won 3 races in his career in Daytona, Talladega, and New Hampshire. But yeah, he's had a good career. And also Smithfield, his sponsor, is also leaving too. So definitely a disappointing to lose a big sponsor, but yeah, congrats to Aric on a good career. Noah Gragson is actually rumored to be the replacement for him, so look out for that. See if Noah taking over the 10 car for 2024. We'll look forward to seeing that. Hopefully, yeah. And then I'm hearing from, I was listening to DBC, the Dormant McClear podcast, and there's talks that I guess NASCAR is going to test a new TransAxel. Right now, NASCAR's having an issue with shifting at short tracks, which allows the whole, even the whole bump and run is taken away from that when, someone bumps you and all you got to do is drop a gear and keep going and keep your momentum. So NASCAR wants to try to find a way to get rid of that shifting so that doesn't, if you make a mistake in a turn, you get too hot, too deep, you can't just shift and keep your momentum. So hopefully, I'm not sure if they're testing that after Phoenix or a couple of weeks after the championship. But yeah, I don't know the full story on that one. And then Jesse Love is signing to go to RCR for Xfinity Series. Good for Jesse Love. He's dominated the Arca Menard Series. He won the championship. He has a total of 12 wins in that series, 32 top fives, 42 top tens. His average finish is 5.1. I mean, he's dominating ARCA, but ARCA isn't as competitive because there's not as much competition in ARCA. There's not as many competitive cars. So it's not surprised, but good for Jesse Love. Good opportunity for RCR. Excited to see what he can do in that car. And it was kind of funny when Austin Hill was doing his interview. Um, he was like he couldn't wait for Sheldon Creed to move on and to go to JGR, and he's like, I can't. Hopefully, Jesse Love's races him better. So Jesse Love's already getting shout outs. But yeah, and then also I saw this cool ad, but Bubba Wallace is going to be running a Star Wars themed paint scheme. It's run through their Columbia. It's sponsored Columbia, so it's like a little partnership because I guess Columbia is going to be promoting and making Star Wars themed clothing. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to that sponsorship. They had a really cool preview with Mark Hamill in it, the guy that played Luke Skywalker. So that's really cool for those cool big time brands to be partnering with NASCAR. So yeah, really cool. All right, now let's get into the Phoenix preview for the championship race weekend. Truck Series Championship. We got Corey Heim, Grant Enfinger, Carson Hocevar, and Ben Rhodes. I think on average speed, on overall speed, Corey Heim's going to be the favorite. He's been the best all year. When just the most dominant trucks. One at Martinsville, he's won at a couple of short tracks. His average finish at Phoenix is 7.0. He only has one race there. They only raced there once, and that's in November. They only raced there for the championship race. His best finish is 7. But to me, it's one race. It's a new year, and I think he's gonna have a fast truck. And then we got Grant Enfinger. He has an average finish on 10.7. His best finish is 6. He won at the Milwaukee Mile in the round of 10. That's a flat track, short flat track, just like Phoenix. So that could give you some confidence in him. He'll definitely be a threat. And I think he could be a contender to win the race too. Yeah, and then we got Carson Hocevar. Just came off his win at Homestead. His average finish is 17.0. His best finish is 9th. He has 2 back-to-back 9th place finishes. He's not running here. This has not been a strong track for Carson. A lot of people are picking him probably because of how his momentum in the wins he's had. This has been a breakout year for him. He's going to a Cup grind next year. Yeah, and then Ben Rhodes on the 99 Ford. His average finish is 8.4. His best finish is 3rd. He's won a championship here, so he knows how to get around here. He knows how to compete for a championship. Everyone, I think Grant Enfinger has competed for a championship before. I think Ben Rhodes might be the only one in this group that has been in the Final Four and won. So, but in my opinion, when it comes to overall speed, and my pick, I'm going to pick Corey Heim. I just think he'll dominate. I think he'll be the fastest truck there, and I think he'll just be hard to beat. So I'm picking Corey Heim to take the Truck Series Championship. Now let's get into the Xfinity Series Championship race. We got Cole Custer, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier, and John Hunter Nemechek. Cole Custer's average finish is 8.9 at this track. His best finish is 2nd. Cole's run well all year. I mean, he hasn't won a short track this year, but top 10. He's been consistent. But the thing about this is it's only one race, man. You only got one race. This isn't, that's the one thing about this. It all comes down to one race. How good are you at this one track? You can be good at Martinsville, but this isn't Martinsville. This is Phoenix. His best finish is 2nd. He came close to winning here. I don't know. He'll have speed. But I don't know if he'll have the overall raw speed. And then Sam Mayer, his best finish here is 20. His average finish is 20.0. His best finish is 11. He's not finishing inside the top 10. So definitely really doesn't give you good confidence here. But Junior Motorsports has brought fast cars. Yeah. So I wouldn't I'm not feeling as confident about Sam Ayer getting the championship here. And then Justin Allgaier, his average finish is 19.5. He's a two-time winner here. He's probably the most experienced guy out of these four to win it all. I think he'll be the closest. He'll be right there. I think he'll be top 5, top 10. Um, and then we got John Hunter Nemechek. His average finish is 5.7. His best finish is second. He's never won here, but he's been close. He's been the best car all year, and you know, personally, I'm picking him to win again. I just think last year Ty Gibbs, he wins Martinsville, right? And he's going against 3 Junior Motorsports cars, but he ended up qualifying on the pole and was the best car all day and dominated the whole thing and won. And that's how I see this one going out again. I see the 20 car being the fast car, the best car, and going out there and he's going to put on a clinic and he's going to go win himself a championship. And now, let's get to the Cup Series Championship final. So we're going to have Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, and William Byron in the final. Kyle Larson has won a championship here back in 2021. He won the race. He was not the best car that day, but due to his good pit stop, got him out in front and took care. His average finish here is 8.0. He's been good here. I think he finished, I forget where he finished in the spring. If I could go to my stats. In the spring, he finished 4th. He was fast. He led laps in that race. But his teammate, William Byron, was a lot faster. I think Kyle Larson will be a threat. They have had 2 weeks to prepare their car, to get their car in the best position they have studied, and I think they're going to be fast. They're Hendrick Motorsports. They're going to have a fast rocket ship for them. And then we got Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney has been on a tear. He has all the momentum in the world. His average finish here is 10.5. His best finish is second. I think he has finished here second back-to-back times. He finished second in the spring, and he finished second in last November's championship race. He probably could have won in last November, but I guess some team decisions told him to stay second because Joey, his teammate, was the one that was leading. I don't think they wanted him to pass Joey. They wanted him to kind of be the protector. But yeah, Blaney. I mean, Penske has found their stride. Penske has found their stride, and they found something here, and they're gonna be in the mix there. And then we got Christopher Bell. His average finish here is 14.4. He finished 6th in the spring. His best finish is 6th. That was his best finish. Yeah, look, they're gonna have a rocket ship for Christopher. Of course, they're gonna have a rocket ship. He's the only one left. They're gonna put all their resources in him. They're gonna give him the best stuff. They're gonna look through all their data, all their setups, and they're gonna put him in the best position. He's gonna have the best crew on at Joe Gibbs, and they're gonna put him in the best position to go out there and compete. To me, I think he has the worst finish. He's the worst finisher out of the four when it comes to Phoenix with a 14.4 average. So to me, I'm not feeling that confident. But this is one race, dude. Anything can happen in one race. I mean, it's one race. It ain't 3, 4, 5, 6 races. It's one dang race. So anything can happen. And then we'll go into William Byron average finish, 11.9. He's won race here. He won in the spring. I wouldn't say he dominated like the spring race. Kevin Harvick probably was in the position to win that race, but with a late race caution, that kind of jumbled up the field and gave Byron that team put a great pit stop, and he came out in front and took the W. I mean, the Chevy, Hendrick cars, a lot of people would say Larson and Byron are the favorite. Probably the most deserving guy would probably be Byron, right? He's won the most races, but this is one race, right? It ain't a whole season of points. It's one comes down to one race. So you got to pit stop's got to be good. You got to put all your chips in one basket and go and shoot for the stars. So with that being said, I think momentum is important in this sport. I think Penske has found something, and I'm picking Ryan Blaney to win the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series Championship. I think it's gonna be a great week of racing. Hope you guys should all tune in to the truck race on Fox FS1. Xfinity Series race will be around 5 on Saturday on USA, and then the Cup race 3 o'clock NBC. Tune in. Should be a great week of racing. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. Definitely can get a little chaotic. I apologize as I mumble a little too much. Say someone's word, talk a little too fast. Please go down in the reviews and tell me what you think. Give me a review. Check out my Instagram. Check out Rolling the Bottom's Instagram at Rolling the Bottom. If you go down to in my links, you can go down into and check all my links to all my podcasts. I have my YouTube. Check out my YouTube. I just posted episode 1 and 2. I'm working on getting 3 out there, and I'll be getting 4 out here too pretty soon now. So yeah, hope you guys all enjoy. Hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.